Tony Boy.
The fellow one to let's go.
The more you look, the less you see.
Hello everybody, how we doing today? First and foremost, big apologies. When I know Vex yesterday, I missed the appointment we are given her. You know, because me as SK, I know they like to miss my appointment when I given her, so we'll do something. So this topic, and topic we don't touch on before, but where I promise I will expand on, you understand? So that the topic will feel make sense truly. So we discuss African gangster. Discussing the African gangster, one must always remember, say, as motherland people, there are certain things we must observe. You understand? We must observe, we must see to understand how the narrative they play out on how they live our life. So I take the article. I won't read the whole article out for now, but it's difficult to read the article. It's so long and it will be boring to read the article. But if you use your Google after the live, you know, take your own time, use your Google, touch the live, you will see say use hip-hop and prison for profit. You know, an article will come up, and in this article we'll find out, say, there's a big connection between our music as African people all over the world and the criminal lifestyle. So many people use that to justify global African criminality. You know, African people are criminals. You know, we especially as Nigerians, we know that one. Anywhere we will go, Nigerians are number one for fraud. Anything they talk, Nigerians fraud. If you talk about America, all African American people, black people for America, drug dealers, gangsters, murderers, you know. So the narrative is justified by the images that we see, right? So now, let's go. How do we break this down? When we as motherland people, they grow up, not only certain kind of images we see for TV. So everybody want to see people that look like you on TV. We all want to do that. You know, when you see people that look like you on TV, ooh, everybody is happy, everybody is. But we need to pay attention to the stories, right? Pay attention to the narrative. When you get a African, when I say African, I want to say African, I mean black people in America, black people in South America, black people in Europe, black people everywhere for this world. When we watch TV, there's only few certain kind of African people that we see, regardless of the situation. There can be war, there can be economic crisis. Only 3 types of African people you go see for TV. You see 1, musicians, you see athletes, and you see actors and actresses. You know. Now there's a narrative always. If you see any European athlete, if you ask them, oh, what were you? How was your childhood? You go say, oh, my childhood was tough, blah blah blah. You know, I smoked some weed, I did this, I did that. But sports gave me discipline. I stopped all these things. You know, I stopped playing around. You know, we were naughty kids. But when you talk about, when it comes to like African sports people, oh, how was your childhood? You go say, it must involve crime. It must because how sports, you're moving from gangster life and all of that. Now, why is it that African people we like gangster life? I'll tell you simply. Because we watch a lot of fucking gangster movies. Case closed. We watch a lot of fucking gangster films. So you watch, you hear musicians talking on TV. They're talking about their past gangster life. You know, in America, now God save me, oh, save music come, you know. I didn't know what I would have become, you know, all those kind of stories. We all hear it every time. Every fucking time. We all hear it, you know. So that is narrative around us for Africa as we try to develop ourselves, you know. Now check this out. If we look through the narrative, we will see many of us model our life because of what we think is proper and appropriate from what we have learned from popular culture. When you watch white people showing their own criminals, I will use the word romanticize. You know, they do all these movies, Goodfellas, The Godfather, you know, Scarface, all these movies that we watch, and they romanticize the criminality of their people. Okay, so why is it possible for them to romanticize the criminality of Europeans, but we cannot romanticize the criminality of Africans? I'll tell you simply. It is because the African gangster, there's an issue, you understand? The European gangster, American gangster, he modeled in gangsterism towards the elevation of a community. So if you look back towards the mafia, if you look back towards the Yakuza, if you look back towards the Chinese triad, you will find that they get strong community ties. You understand? So that those community ties now make them feel romanticize their story. You know, but the issue with the African gangster, you know, if you listen to Dead Prez album, Dead Prez has an album called Let's Get Free. You know, and the intro of the album, now, one professor with the talk, I don't forget his name, but they talk about a story of, say, you know, for ancient cultures, for the Inuits are people they stay for snow, all those places where they be snow, Eskimo kind of people, you know. Say if they want hunt for wolves, if they want catch wolf in those days, you know what they go do? They go take knife, they go put her inside eye. So when they rub the blade of the knife, the wolf will smell the blood on that blade of the knife. So it will come to lick that blade. As soon as he lick the blade, you know, the knife is sharp, it will cut down. So as soon as they lick the knife, now in blood, it will come begin the lick. You think say, in the lick, he don't see something to eat, you know, go lick the thing, they go, but the wolf, they kill himself, he will lick that thing until he died there. You understand? So that is how African criminality is. That's how African gangsterism is. African gangsterism is the way we say, we dey take out of our community, we dey kill our community in the name of say, we dey feed ourselves. You understand? We dey kill our community in the name of say, we dey kill ourselves. I don't tell Americans, me I know the ethical, moralist when it comes to social economics. The social dynamic of life is say, if Nigeria, as Nigeria dey like this, if you put so many people in poverty and not do anything, those many people waiting for poverty have the right to do whatever they can to uplift themselves from the poverty. Normal. But we must not harm our community in the process of doing such. This is where I must now teach now what it means to be real gangsters. You know, we don't get a real example of gangsters for Africa. The only people they really behave like gangsters now are politicians. You understand? The real people they behave like gangsters. Because, you know, first of all, we know they organize. You know, gangster people know they organize. They don't they organize for Nigeria. Everybody just there for the crew. Maybe one person get money pass. Everybody respect them because they get money pass. Finish. There's no really like organization like mafia, organization, Yakuza organization, family to family link up. That one, they only happen for our politics. You know, that's why you go see for our politics, a lot of gangster shit, they go down. You understand? When we say we as the people, you know, we will look at, oh, these people are playing politics. But if you remove the politics of it, just look the behavior, you know, the way our politicians move. You know, first of all, they move, they carry a whole gang of people, you know, they get crew, they get boys. We know say they get people every dwell with the talk, go hit this one, you know. So that's a real gangster setup, you know. That's a real gangster setup. And if we can't date for inside this gangster setup, it is appropriate many young people when they see the elders behaving like gangsters, because forget what they take cloak am, say, oh, we are politicians, we are politicians. It is really that gangster behavior we dey see am, you know, and now wetin most young people they copy be that. You know, even in the way we operate for oil sector, for banking, everybody in Nigeria will be top people for this country. They organize themselves and approach the people in a gangster fashion. You understand? Gangster fashion. Not be say now the same people go make the law. And they go still break the law to suit them. You understand? You know, like, for example, now I'm not been get light. They spoil my meter. You know, I don't pay for the light, everything. They don't pay my meter. They say I must not use light. Even though I know repair my meter, they say I don't even connect the light. Even though that they are now my right to simply call repair my meter immediately. These people don't repair my meter for almost 1 year. Or even more than 1 year. And say I don't get right to connect my light. That's gangster. You understand what I'm saying? That is gangster shit. You know? If I remember Bukola Saraki, when Bukola Saraki won't become Senate president, he go hide inside boot of his motor. They carry and they drive him, men drive and go hide them inside the Senate compound before the government will fit come block the gate, make it no fit enter. They don't settle the thing up. That's some gangster moves. You understand? We did for the same country. We be say so many things they happen for our country. We say we the people, the poor petty criminal, the 419 boy, you know, they paint them as the real criminals of society, you know. But if you look society really, say, which people they really do gangster things for society? How this gangster will be gangster? You understand? You find that for the professional world, in the world of our police force, Nigeria gangsterism, the behavior of gangsters really did. You know, and they always tell people, say, when we talk about kidnapping for Nigeria, the people will start to kidnap Nigerian people, and Nigerian police, nobody else. Because what be the meaning of kidnap? Kidnap means say, if they go for road, people you don't know before, they just stop, bundle you inside their motor, carry you go, and when they carry you go, your family guys will come take money, remove you outside. What's that? What is that? That for me is what kidnapping is. And who start to behave like that to Nigerian people? The Nigerian police. And when Nigerian police kidnap you like that, their organ will talk, say they do wrong thing. They go lock you for sale. No judge will come bail you. Nobody will come talk about you, except your family will come pay that ransom. That is some gangster shit. You understand? That is real gangster. You know? That is real gangster. You know? So, when we talk about African gangsters, we as African people need to now divert the attention to the real way they behave, the gangster behavior. The young people for society, where they live, you know, where they live through crime. Many of them commit this crime because they have no other opportunity. You understand? So they get other opportunity. I know many boys with intelligence, we don't graduate for school, we get so many things to do, we get they're too much. I know so many of them, but no opportunity. So all men got to do with it, fall into crime. All men got to fall into crime. And many of them, due to their already high IQ, understand, see, that crime is not forever. They fall into crime, they can raise themselves up to a certain level and try immediately to begin to legitimize their existence, to normalize their existence, to give back to their community. You know, because restitution matters a lot. You understand? And which person won't do? Person don't feel blame such people. It is the situation. It is the situation because if those kind of people get waiting to do, yeah. And not they go want waste time, they risk themselves, risk their life, you know, to do crime. The real gangster, and when you talk about gangster, when you talk about organized criminality, when you talk about real organized crime na lifetime intergenerational behavior. You understand? Organized crime no be behavior of say my son is doing crime, my sister is doing crime, one of my brother for village. No, when you are a real gangster, everybody in that family is involved in the business. That is real gangster. That's when we are real gangster. And the only people they operate like that, again I repeat, are our government, our elite, both business and professional. That they operate like that. So if you look at all the business in Nigeria, no matter, let's take telcos, for example, telecommunication, for example, in Nigeria. Telecommunication in Nigeria is the most gangster business that I've seen in this country. First of all, we earn 30,000 naira minimum wage. 30,000 naira is $60 a month. My internet for my house is 52,000. The cheapest internet gig you can get a month, say you want to use steady internet gig for your house, is like 10,000. That is a third of the national minimum wage. A third of the national minimum wage. Data alone. You understand? This is the price of data. Price. I mean, who organized this price? This is daylight robbery, theft. Now, okay, you are charging us this. Just imagine the ratio of our minimum wage. The ratio, per capita. So you must calculate them. Forget say they say at 10,000. 10,000 is only 20 pounds. 20 pounds. 20 pounds. My brother, forget so 20 pounds is already a third of your minimum wage in your country. You don't understand? 20 is already a third of your minimum wage in your country, fam. In your country. So they are charging us high for this data. Now, you go pay for the data, it no go work. You go browse, you go work, it go slow. Sometimes you go connect, sometimes you go connect, and your data they read. Sometimes data go just disappear, you never even use them. Tell me the industry for Nigeria. She na banking, she na for school. Education, they say students they do cultism. Okay, I agree. Say students they do cultism. So cultism is bad. Yes, fine. Cultism is bad. But first and foremost, lecturers, they take bribe to give student marks for school. You see those marks when lecturer they give for school. You know, when we talk about corruption for Nigeria, when we talk about, let's say, we don't really understand gangster. Because we understand what is the gangster for this country. We know what they call ourselves. You know, because everybody is so enamored with this being an African gangster. You know, African criminality is in your. But this is just because you don't watch too many films. You have watched too many films when Don Corleone has been romanticized. You know, what do you mean? For me, Don Corleone is nothing but a stupid criminal. He's killing people for money. No matter how they tell you in life story, any another way come your house. Another way come your house. In mama self there for in village, they sick. You dey craze. I'm bad. We make our must prevent. You kill this person, steal this business, oppress this. I mean, forget all this story when they talk for years. Now make us deceive ourselves, then they see the thing. So when you watch things from people's narrative instead of your own narrative, You know, it's always possible that you fall trap for all these kind of things. And people, they always fall trap, you know, for all these kind of things. So now let me go back to the universities. So yes, students, they do cultism for school. But now, students are under the supervision of the school authority. The lecturers and our professors in the universities of Nigeria, let's now for 1 second just imagine what it mean to give marks to somebody. Our universities are the cradle of our engineers, the social scientists, and all the people who will develop this country. You understand? So when you give marks, you know, our universities mean they are national institutions, national treasures. You understand? Just like our national treasury, our university is a national treasury of intelligence. You understand? So one wonder why so many people they stupid for Nigeria, so many people they ignorant. Now because as the way they don't loot our national treasury of cash, that's why they don't. The lecturers too don't loot the national treasury. You understand? Of intelligence. So after they don't loot the national treasury of intelligence, because when you give mark to somebody, when the lecturer they give false mark to somebody because he fucked the girl, or because he collect money from the boy, or because you know he and the boy parents know each other, those marks, it doesn't belong to the lecturer. Not be the lecturer get those marks. Those marks are a national property to enlighten our people. So when you give them by yourself, I mean, what is more gangster than that? When you take something that belongs to the whole country and you give it to somebody, what's more gangster than that? What is more gangster than that? What's more gangster? There's nothing more gangster. So our society is a crimogenic society. The problem with African gangsters is not the criminals that we police they harass for street. The gangsters don't go that the police when they harass person. I always talk this thing for people say, if you want to know what I mean by saying you cannot, we by ourselves will not continue to lie to ourselves. If you're there for your house, you sleep for nights. You hear knock for door. Arm robber. Nigerian police. Boko Haram. Nigerian army. For 3 a.m. you will feel exactly the same way. No difference. You will feel exactly the same way. No difference whatsoever. That for me now it means say there's gangster. It's something gangster. And these people, you know, they protect themselves. You know, you when they call gangster, who they protect you? You are just a criminal. And I hope, I believe, say many young African people, you know, way they into criminality are using it as a way out. So I can't judge them, you know. And hopefully they don't go on to become gangsters. Because the real gangsters for Africa they protect themselves, nothing will happen to them. The way real gangsters do. You know, imagine make a gang come get country. That's what Nigeria be. And Nigeria be like gang will get country. You understand? That is the real meaning of gangs in Nigeria. I see a lot of moves. You know, many people they want to say, I would want to say, some people know they see waiting be gangster for a year. Then go sit down for a house in truck, go keep people. Nothing they happen. That's gangster. If you jump person with your car, you dey craze. No, you don't enter jail. You don't enter jail. Where they go? Every day for paper. Today I still read for Punch. Charlatan just this weekend. Today Uganda will not blow up for near Ondo State. Kill how many people? Kill all of them, go. In the they don't arrest one tanker owner before, one oil owner, one anything owner. Gangsters, they get away with it. That's what it means to be gangster. So we as African people, we must only change our value system. I don't say many people, believe they are gangster. You are not yet gangster. And I don't wish for you to be a gangster. I know that yes, you commit crime because it is your way out. So yeah, fuck that. European people going to tell us for Africa, say, behind every great wealth, there's a great crime. If you count how many people royal family of England don't kill to become royal family of England, can you calculate the amount of bloodshed in this world? No, we cannot calculate it. We cannot calculate it. Look at how many Africans are dying for diamonds to be mined in Congo. See the wars in Liberia and Syria alone. See how many people die for Iraq, for America to take oil. That's gangster. That's the real gangster behavior. That's the crimogenic world that we live in. But we now, as African people, what they miss for inside this equation, we say, as America, they do these things to the Iraqi, they want to use the oil for their own benefit. But you see these African gangsters, the problem with them is that they use it against their own people. The gangsters in Africa, both in education, both in banking, both... Look ahead. 2 days ago, the whole Heritage Bank for Abuja, they carried themselves, go stay for Senator Uba house. They go stay for outside Senator Uba house to ask for their money. You see? Now, nothing will prove to you more than anything that all these people are in cahoots. They are all gangsters together. They are all in the same gang. They are all in the same gang. If you owe your bank only 50,000, only 50,000 naira. If you owe your bank only 50,000 naira, oh my God.
You are gone.
Oh my God. AMCON release information. AMCON say only 20-something Nigerians are owing. No, not be 20-something Nigerians. That's 120-something. Yes. Anyway, less than 200 Nigerians are owing over 10 trillion. I believe they owe. Nobody is doing. They are rich friends. So many of them don't borrow the money and they pay back. And not anybody can do. Take what's more gangster than that? That's outright extortion. Outright. Your bank, you was there for your house, your bank is taking stamp duty, your card is there for your pocket. Your card there your pocket too. You maintain your card there inside your pocket. Like this. Your card they charge you card maintenance fee. Is that very extortion? Nigeria bank, they collect interest 20%. That's low shaki. That's not banking. And everybody for Nigeria, the funny thing is everybody for Nigeria are Christian and Muslim. Go and read your Bible and your Quran. Giving loan with interest is a sin. If I don't know anything for Bible, I know that one. Giving loan with interest is a sin in the eyes of the Lord. I don't forget the biblical name. You get biblical name. It starts with S. Oh. Oh my goodness. If I have any good Christian and Muslim brother here, please let me know. 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 I don't forget this word. They get the word for Christianity. If you loan money with interest, is a sin.
Charlatan.
No. We just can't charlatan. If you don't do, I will. If you don't do. Huh? Is it usury? No, it's not usury. No, it's not usury. I've forgotten the word. But that's the word for it too, I think. You know, so it's a sin. It's a sin. It's a sin. It's a sin. Oh, you know, but aside from that, the rates that they use, but there are some people in Nigeria that can borrow money and nobody can do them anything. Nobody can collect the money, nobody can chase them, nobody can find them. They collect the money as they like. That's it. They don't collect it, they won't collect. Do your worst. That's gangster. You know? But these people now, this is my issue, and I'll continue to say it. Say this gangsterism that is happening in our country, this extortion, this killing, is it for the betterment of your own community, of your people? No. When they do and finish, that to go to and buy all these useless things, small, shiny things, everybody. So that is the problem with the African gangster. So when I talk about African gangster, it's not really you know, the Yahoo boy, they stay for Lekki, we just be only one house and get in car. No, I mean, you are just, you never still decide with your life. But at the end, try to help you decide with your life, you know. Get your come up and let it go. Because, you know, the thing about criminality is this. It's not about, even gangsterism, you know, the real gangsterism is this. You know, they end well for any one of them. You know. Yeah, that's just the truth of it. And especially when you're an African gangster. Because the new ones must use you, take step up. Because they don't get that organization, that loyalty not really there. Because they're not loyal to the land. They're not loyal to the community well of Nafoncon. They're loyal to themselves. You know, it'll be like, you know, so even Europeans, go watch Mafia Story, John Gotti, all of them, they must betray. You know, they end well for anybody. So that's why they advise anybody to want die there. Yeah, I understand our country and what we're going through. And if any of you make the decision to, you know, do whatever you want to do, I think they join, I think they look at people they try to do to come up. Fuck this country. Fuck this country. You know. So, we as African people must rise to the occasion. It is not easy for us to see these people and the example that they set. It is difficult. Young African people living in this country, seeing the example, the gangster example that is being set constantly, you know, for us in this country by our elite, and they don't blame us when we take the gangster, the criminal route. Because the only example we see every day is how people are putting their hand in our pocket. We'll not be mumu now. You know, African people. They get special customer when they question, everybody know how they go, all those kind of things. That's gangster way, that's not real business, that's not professionalism. You know, to be a professional, you then start your company. You know the rules of your company. You know the rules of your country. Somebody brings something on your front. We're not supposed to be like that. It's not professionalism, it is gangsterism. So there's no there. Once the word don't come from above, you know, the crime must be committed. But nobody will arrest them, nobody will talk anything because everybody is in the gang. Everybody is benefiting from the gangsterism. You understand? But everybody's chasing young Nigerians, young Africans all over the place, as if they're the real gangsters that are spoiling the whole world. You understand? Nigerians, Africans, blah, blah, blah. But those real gangsters, they go invite them come White House. They'll go discuss with American presidents. They go carry the real gangsters. They go invite them go France. They go invite them go Abi. When they see them, when they see them now. For me, I see the African gangsters that we must see them for what they are. Yesterday, I've been research the topic where I want to start this live. You know, that hip hop and for profit. You know, international side of it. I want to see the local side of it. That's why crime is worse. And they always tell me, we must ask ourselves, somebody do crime, police arrest them, police take bribe, come release the person. Which crime is worse? Which crime is really gangster? One more time, don't forget hip hop and for profit prisons. Google the article. I will let me people with the interested when they go through that article. Hip hop and for profit prison. You know, so you can see the simple link in that side. You know, and see the link for our own side too. I don't explain one link for now. How politicians and businessmen, both political and business elites, will go inside bank, take all our money because now deposit on our money inside the bank. Take all our money with inside. Bank will keep quiet. Instead of collecting share, give politicians the share. They will take the money out of our country. What they can do different things with they like. Then leave the debt on top of we, the people neck. Now we will come carry the debt. We not the new user and develop also. So they take that money now, come inside the bank, develop this country, develop some opportunities for millions of young people. We will understand, but no, they take out for their own personal. So this is the African gangster that I'm talking about. You know, not be, you know, please not. I'm not talking about people where they commit crime because they are influenced by the African gangster. That's good. So, thank you very much for today's bird's eye view. TPP is back on Friday. We're gonna rock it. So live at the African Shrine. Yes. I must not forget that. We are live at the African Shrine on Saturday. My usual end of the month show, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now, it's the same gate fee as usual. Yes, same gate fee as usual. 500 naira, please. Don't forget, live at the African Shrine, 500 naira, Saturday, 7 to 11 p.m. And yeah, I see a lot of people want to say something. Some people want to say something. If you have something to say, I'm at Shrine I'm at Shrine on Saturday, 7 to 11. You know, it's only 500 naira. Come through, you know, instead of wasting money using your data, pay me the money. I'll come back and see what you want to say to me, you know. I'm still here. I'm still here. You know, so anytime you feel you want to say something, I'm ready. I ain't scared. 7 to 11 at the African Shrine. Come through. So in fact, I'll give you people 30 minutes. My show will end at 11. I'll give you people extra 30 minutes. I'll give you mic. You know, you can say all you want to say. I'm still the chairman of the Nigerian haters. You know, still chairman of Nigerian haters. Still only one of the 4 whose album has been nominated for the Grammys. I'm not saying it to spy anybody. You know, people might be angry, but it's just the truth. You know, album. I'm not talking about music video. I even have a friend that's a Nigerian engineer that has won the Grammy. You know, way before any of us even knew there was Grammy. A Nigerian guy lives in Nigeria, won a Grammy. He said I should not say his name, so fine. Lives in Nigeria, has won a Grammy as an engineer. I'm talking about for music, our album, recognizing our work. So if you people have something to say to me, Big Bird, Seun Kuti, come to Shrine Saturday, say it face to face. You people always talk. You know, I don't have time for people whose noise on the internet cannot even build school in their community. You know, we talk about noise cannot build school in our community. Come on, man. Forget this internet talk. Come to Shrine. I'm there. 7 to 11 p.m.